everyone.
Hello.
Hey, hi
Good to
there.
see you. Good to see you all here. Yes, so today we are starting our last recording of the year, right? We are close to the end of the year, and we thought it would be interesting to talk about, to revisit the whole year and talk about how was your 2024. How do you grow during this year? If you had any challenge, big challenge that you are still to overcome, or you have had overcome this year, it will be interesting to hear from you. And for us ourselves, we also want to revisit, at least this year. It was a, I think, crazy year for all the developers, right? All these AI stuffs, and we created lots of content since the beginning of the year talking about it, bring a lot of different news, some lot of fear about the new this new technology or this new approach that might change our day to day. And yeah, I think it will be interesting. And talking about AI, we we made actually Luis could get the transcript of all the videos. So thanks a lot, Luis, for doing this job for us. And I asked it for ChatGPT actually to extract some interesting quotes from the from this transcript and try to remember some moments that we got here and we think it's interesting to talk about. But let's do it later on. Let me just say hello to everyone. So I will start from Pedro. Hello, Pedro. How are you, man? Good to have you here.
Hey, hello, Yoko. Hello, everybody. Hello, people from the audience. Yeah, today is a good day to remember everything. We are at the end of the year. Here, today is not snowing, so it's like a warm day here in Canada, like 7 degrees. So, and a warm day in December. And this is part of the my year, right? All these changes in my life and all this different stuff that happened here in my career. So I think for me, it was a really interesting year that it would be really good to remember.
Cool, cool, great. And yeah, that's true. It was this year, right, that you
Yep.
moved to Canada. Yeah. Oh, it passed. It passed so fast. It
That's
looks
so
like
fast.
a long time ago. Yeah, that's great. And you, Igor, how was your 2024, man? And how are you
Hi,
now?
Yogo. Hi, Pedro. Hi, Luis. Hi, Sila. Yeah, 2024 was a very crazy year, like you mentioned. So many things happened. I've met all of you guys. I never thought about doing live talking about technology, even being a long time in the field, but it's just a year that I went out of the background to just not be only a developer or a person or that works with IT, to come to start sharing, writing, talking about IT, to bring what I know and what I learned to other people as well. And this was a game changer for my career, from what I could see. And also, I had job changes internationally, continue on my career. I didn't move physically from countries, but professionally, I've moved a long time ago, and see this progression in your career, even virtually. And I even started experimenting with digital nobody, traveling while working, and that's something that I have a very ambitious project for 2025, to do that a lot more. That's a life change. That's what I could see. Also, we had other counterparts, health problems that I've overcome, but at the end, we're here, and this was a very interesting year. And moving forward, looking to grow a lot. Uh, lot of things changing inside here for 25 to bring more content to the audience, to our sessions as well. And it was great to start being part of the out of the box developer and bringing content here and sharing a little bit of myself with the audience and with the subjects that we discuss here. So it was great, and not just only here. Of course, we do have a lot of things that we work.
Great, man. That's I'm very happy that you joined the team and bring your point of views. And was amazing to bring the content. Also, you always share a lot of great experiences, and I think it became all the sessions became more vivid after you came here with us. So thanks a lot, Igor. That's great. And it's the same thing. I thought that was it was last year. So my mind it's a bit distorted with the time. I don't I everything I did this year or happened this year. I'm thinking that was long time ago.
Yeah,
maybe
it was a lot of
the
things.
ages make it for. for you. So we also have Luis. Hey Luis, how are you, man?
Hello, how are you, everyone? I'm very happy because this definitely was my out of the box year. Because how can I say? I did a lot of first things, things for the first time actually, and and I started teaching at the university this year, in the beginning of the year. Then um, I started participation more in events. I organized my first event and participated as giving talks, participating in panels, or giving mentoring. Last week, I gave my first mentoring in an event. So this was definitely my out of the box year. And I think I'm the last one that joined this group here,
Yes,
out of the box developer. So I'm very very happy to be here with you. And
great,
this is a
man.
very great group, very great discussions.
Yeah, that's true. You are the newest member here on the Out of the Box. So thanks a lot. You have been a great partner here, not just inside Out of the Box, but we do go to the events and we do record stuff. so so yeah, that's great, man. And let me say hello to Sheila also. Hey Sheila, and you, how was your 2024?
Oh, hello, Hugo. Hello, everyone, and our audience. This year was a very interesting year for me too. So I also did some first time things. So, for example, for the first time, I took a longer time out of work. So I had a longer vacation, and I also used that vacation to uh, visit you and to get to know you. And some of you I have already met before, but some of you, like Luis, it was the first time to meet him and have some conversations. And what was also the first time for me is giving my first mentoring. So it was a very interesting challenge and very interesting experience. So I would like to repeat it once again. So I try to engage more in communities, and I guess that it's a good direction, and I should do more about it. So 2025 should be a year where I try to engage even more with communities. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's great. Yeah, and just remember, you are one of the persons that help us always the maintaining all the sessions, right? You always help us with the creating the links and sharing. Remember to share the people because I always I'm not well organized with that. So that's also a very important, so a core things to do. And yeah, we just we are just here because you have been supporting us all this time. So thanks a lot for every session. and and yeah, so I think also if you are watching us, yeah, we want to hear how was your 2024. If you watched us before, if you had remember any of the recording in the past, some topic that you enjoyed before, and remember it, please paste here on the chat so we can also discuss about that. And yeah, this 2024 it was at least for me it was the AI year, right? A lot it was 2022 three, but 2024 got much more hype and went a lot stronger in the topic. um, I I don't know if do you have before entering the AI stuff. Do you think from last year and this year, some about the end of year is very common to think about the past year and do the retrospective. Do you think something changed because we have uh, because of our reality today with AI stuff? Do you think? Do you have any suggestion for people that are just reaching the end of the year and what they should be doing from now, now and on?
Yeah. Well, from the AI stuff, I could say that at some point of this year, I was concerned because everybody was selling AI is gonna program. Devin, that creepy Devin, which talked in the beginning of the year, they will get all the engineers, software engineer jobs. So go do something else, gardening, mechanics, that the AI will not do until the Tesla robots arrive. When they arrive, you will not be able to do any gardening. Okay, so so yeah, I was concerned at some point in the beginning of the year, but we've talked so much about that, and it was so clear to me that the more I worked with AI, I could notice that it cannot replace us at all, at least on the stage that we are right now. But it can help you to do things a lot faster, especially if they are repetitive tasks. So that's a tool. And what I could say again to the audience is if you don't got in touch with anything about AI at all, at least ChatGPT, the free version, you can use the code with me that can help you to test something, to create tests, or to do anything regarding the code you're working. Of course, if you get a code from there, test it, run it, because probably something will be missing on that code. It will help you to get most of it, but not all of it. It is not ready. That would be my suggestion. And this was something that happened during this year. I get concerned at a certain time that, oh my, do I really need to be concerned at all? So after of that I've mentioned you, especially when I started working more with stakeholders, that you get to get the business logic from your customers and transform that into reality, it was pretty clear to me that No, no, that's a tool to help me. It's not gonna play against me at all. They are not gonna talk with the customer to bring out the specifications and change it 1,000 times because they want to change it. And so we do have a lot of work for many years, and for now, that's what a point that I would say about AI.
Since yeah, and since you mentioned Devin, and we had in the past that session, I don't know. Do you
Yeah.
think also because of the time as well? I think it is good to start also revisit. And do you think each of you, do you have any favorite quotes that you see? I sent to you all of you the quotes that we recovered from the transcript of the videos. Do you have some of those favorite ones? I just want to pick one from the Thiago, since you Igor mentioned it about the Devin. It was a quote at the debate we had about Devin. We are reacting to a video from a guy that was using Devin and proposing some challenges, and yeah, Devin from Thiago, I think it's correct here. I remember this quote from Thiago. Devin's generating bugs and fixing them. That's as human as it gets. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's very true. And but in a in a much more large scale, right? So yeah, that was a interesting session we had.
Yeah, the ChatGPT creates a quote from me here from the same day. It says, "Diving is like a glimpse into the future, not a threat, but a tool to augment us." Of course, I didn't say that, not this way, because this I wouldn't use augment. but it's really true. That's something that I feel this year, using AI every day, right? We're now using AI every day to to code. I'm using Copilot since last year now, and what I can feel is that these tools improved a lot, right? Copilot improved a lot, and Copilot is saying Copilot is GPT 4.0, so and GPT 4.0 with your code. But of course, it's when you stop thinking about this guy as a guy, but as a tool. When you think of this guy as a tool, you start using it very well because you need to learn it. So what I did, I went to some videos in Microsoft and I think it's VS Code site. They have like videos saying, okay, how to get Copilot
Best
at its
practices.
best practice with Copilot,
For
and there are
prompt
some.
engineering Copilot, right? Yeah,
No, not exactly. Yeah,
not
not
exactly prompt
only prompt
engineering.
engineering, but the using corrective features. For example, I want this code to write tests for me, and then you need to make it understand what exactly you want to do. You
Mhm.
want to do,
That's
right?
true.
You need to pass the code. Oh, I want to take a look at this code, this reference, this other file here. Use this class of this other test as a template, and using the setup the way this other test is using, and create a test for me. And it is an integration test that you must go to the database to call the stuff. Or no, it's an unit test. It must mock all the dependence of this class and blah blah blah. So when you understand, this
Yeah,
guy,
good.
it's a
I'm
tool.
just
You
imagining
need to make it.
as we have nowadays junior developers and senior developers, experienced developer and new joiners. We do have experienced guys that know how to use this AI to work
Mhm.
for them, and not so much experienced, but somehow they can. If you give enough time, they will. Some
You
point
learn.
they probably will be able to solve, but yeah, it won't be as fast or as productive as someone that is experienced with the tool, right?
Yeah, during this year, they did some research that showed that senior developers were more productive, uh, much more productive than junior developers using AI, using
Yeah,
this kind of copilot.
for sure. Yeah.
So, that's something that I that I realized. For me, I could say that I start to be much more productive using tools like that. But for sure, the tools didn't do alone. It's just not say do that for me. They can't. They really can't. And if you don't know how to ask, or you don't know what exactly you want to do, you never get there. So yeah, they will not like replace us, not soon at least.
And sometimes the approach they suggest is not exactly what you want, but give you an idea of it. Yeah, just like you mentioned, Pedro, you have to specify exactly what you want to get it out of the tool. What I think that happens with junior developers is that they need more experience, and then they go to the chat and they start asking about everything, and then maybe the output, it's a lot of code, a lot of garbage code that's not what you need on that step. That's why I
Mhm.
believe that it makes more sense for senior developers. If
Yeah.
you're a junior and you're watching us, we have a session with Professor Isidro, and we have talked a lot about that during the year. You must build your foundations first. This is an ally. This is a partner. It's a peer programming, I would say, having these AI tools like Copilot, but it will not do the work for you. Not at all.
Mm, not at all. And even you have an interesting quotes here from Professor Isidro. From,
Yeah.
right? There's one here interesting. To stay relevant, understand the fundamentals behind the technology.
Mhm.
Of course, we were talking about programming, all the programming fundamentals. If we're talking about using a tool like AI, understand how AI is built so you can use it in its best. So, of course,
Mhm.
you don't need to be expert. You don't need to do. No, I'm talking not talking about that. I'm talking about in making. You need to be more. How can I say?
It
You
is the
you need
difference
to
of
be.
it is a
Sorry.
difference of knowing about and knowing the technology, right? If you don't have to know exactly all the details, but you have to know about it. You have to know
Yeah.
all,
To have a general.
yeah, the
Yeah.
threshold, all the things that is around, and the specific
Yeah.
or the aspect of these technologies, so you
Yeah.
can
And the part that you
handle
were
it.
using. And the part
Yeah.
that you are that's you using, you're using like, yeah, I use JavaScript, so I need to know the basics of JavaScript. I need to understand how it works. I need to understand why that I'm in a browser, understand what it means, what the context. So if you are if you are a Java developer, you need to understand about the JVM and other stuff. So yeah.
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 Let me put just a very simple analogy for someone that is not from IT. Imagine a car. You can know how to drive a car, but know absolute nothing on how it works. The idea here is just to know that your car have four tires, that they need air, they have a motor, and you need to put fuel. At least this you should know, because otherwise you will run out of fuel or out of energy if it's an electric car and you don't charge it. But
Hmm.
the very basics, that's what we are saying about the technology here.
Yeah, exactly.
That
And
was a
So
great analogy. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thanks. Very simple one, but it's a good to understand because I have seen people that they just drive the car. They have absolutely no idea of anything of the car. Oh, did I need to inflate the tires? I didn't knew about it. Really? Really? It's the same about Java. Do I need to install JDK? I believe I just needed to click the run. That's for very beginners. You probably have seen someone like that in the classroom with someone that's very new to the technology. Yeah. And but that's the beginning. That's the beginning. What you need
Yeah.
to understand it's and have this interest about knowing a little bit about how it works behind the wheels.
Oh yeah, at least a little bit. And interesting enough, people with all the hype, people said, "Oh, the AI will replace it, the
Mm.
developers and stuff." Actually, this year we saw like an increase in number of job opportunities for developers. And we added a new role like AI engineer or or LLM engineer or a prompt engineer we already had.
Yeah,
So
yes.
not for developers, but so now we are seeing more opportunities that for developer who knows how to develop stuff using LLM and this Gen AI. So yeah, looks like it's the opposite.
And with that, I just remember about a session we had about a news that a person got fired because it was not moving the mouse and it was detected with AI, right? If I don't remember very well, I think it was
Use it AI.
yeah,
That's
with the use of
interesting.
AI. So the things to be used ethically, and there was also a a a quote from Igor. I don't know if it is it was correct the quote here from you. Do you remember it? AI can empower us to be more productive if we use it as a tool, not as a watchdog. And I
Yeah,
totally agree.
it was kind of that. I
Kind of
didn't
that.
use the watchdog, but that's the key. And that subject remind me when I was looking to remote jobs in 2018, very long time ago. I've never worked remotely back then, but I've heard about those companies that they monitor you and you earn by productivity while you're typing. And if your ID is open only, and if you move away or if you open a browser, you start earning. What's that? That's insane. And using AI to monitor people, I don't know. They should had another metrics to see if these people is working. I believe that happened in a bank, right? These monitors monitoring
I
stuff.
think it
So
was. Mhm.
yeah, they should got metrics about what are those employees producing to the company. Are they delivering value to the company? Are they adding value to it? If not, uh, are they productive by moving the mouse? That also remembered me a company that I've worked in person, and it was a very tough time for me because it was when I found my back paying problem. I do have a problem in the column, and then I needed to stand up for between hours or any 30 minutes. It depends on the back on the pain. And the manager back then told me, you're not being productive. You are not sitting all the time in front of the computer. What are you talking about? Do you want something to be very productive, to stand in front of the computer the whole day? I will put my bag there. My bag will be extremely productive because it's in front of the computer the whole day. You don't need to worry. Staying in front of the computer doesn't mean that you're being productive. Being moving the mouse doesn't mean that you're being productive. What determines if being productive is if you're doing problems, either if you're an employee or if you have your own company, if you're solving your customers' problems. If you're doing that, you can do that it can take you an hour or 5 or 10 hours. It doesn't matter. This is how you are productive. If you're effectively productive, and this is the fun and the nice thing about AI, it empowers us to be more productive, to do more in a shortened period of time. You can deliver more in a less period of time. So, are you working less? No, not at all. You're working smarter. You're working smarter, delivering faster. So you can have a live. So you work for a living. You work for a live. You don't live for working. So you can enjoy your time if you're not in person, of course. But if you're in person, you will need to follow the office times. But I am a remote work advocate, and so I will keep it like that. So work smarter and not it's not staying a lot of
Not
time in
harder,
front.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. At a certain time, when you're learning, you need to put effort on that. So
Mhm.
it will be
Sure.
harder at the beginning, but it's like going to the gym. First day is hard. It's a pain. Your body feels horrible. After a week, you start getting stronger. So you start doing that a little bit more of a joy. After a month, you start enjoying it. So you go faster. It's the same with anything. It's the same with your career, with your programming. We
Uh,
had our guest about programming marathons here. It's the last session
yes.
or 2 sessions. What
Yeah, some sessions ago. But
Yeah, some sessions ago. Uh, the programming marathons that he does, it's a session. It's a session. It's a working session of programming, of course. So I've talked too much. Pedro.
No, I just need to say goodbye, guys. Yeah, I need to go to leave early today. I'm
mhm,
having some stuff here in home. So you working remotely is that good that this kind of goodness you can use your time in a really smart way, in a very of effective way. So, and even for things that happens at home. So I need to take care of this. But
okay.
thank you so much. And of course, 2024 was an amazing year for me, and I could say that uh, all of this is all these conversations we had here is part of this year. It was all these conversations were very very important for me, and very important to for everything that I did after that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
That's cool, man. Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you,
Pedro.
Pedro.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. And
See you.
see you.
See
Bye
you
Take
bye.
care,
next time.
Pedro.
Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, Pedro needs to go earlier today. He mentioned that probably ha- have to help have to help at home. But yeah,
Mhm.
let's keep with the with the quotes here. Do you want to talk about any other quotes? Do you think it was interesting? It both talking here, bringing here. Sheila, Louise, I haven't heard too much your voices.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Also,
have
Yes,
one
good.
here. Chile,
you
you
have
can
one
go
here.
first.
Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to finish what Igor started with the quote from Programming Marathons when we had this session. And the quote is saying from
Oh,
Joao, programming marathons are not just competitions, they are a gym for your coding brain. So
that's
that
true.
means
Yeah.
at the
That's it.
beginning it takes time and energy, and once you are more trained, then you can be more efficient and more or faster, and it will make more more fun also. So I think it's an interesting idea, and it teaches you a lot of things about data structures and algorithms. You have to master all those topics. So I liked it very much, those thoughts from this session that we had last time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
great.
interesting.
Great to remind. Yeah, great to remind it. Yeah, that's true. It's very close to what Igor just mentioned, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it just remembers me that I never really enjoy in the gym, so I think I need to go more, more often.
You need to consist to be a little
I
bit
need
more
more
consistent.
consistency on the gym.
Yeah, at the beginning it will. I do need to train because of my back pain.
Mm,
Otherwise, I suffer with that. So
mm.
I'm obligated to train. But after you pass the
Start to be.
pains, yeah, the beginning, it starts to be a little bit more pleasant, especially for me because I don't feel the pain anymore because the muscles
Mhm.
hold my weight instead of my column. So for me, they are even more beneficial but that's beneficial for everyone. And like Sheila mentioned from Pedro, from João's session, right? And even it's great to practice those because use your brain, right? To not just rely on the IDE or on AI. I do like to practice some apps that made me think, made me work with logic, and one that Pedro mentioned as well. It was Leaf Code, Hacker Hank. If you're a junior or even senior developer, you will find out programs to learn from all levels, right? Like Sila mentioned here, the algorithms and all, and you can put that in practice, and that will be very beneficial for a career, for your projects, and that's like going to the gym, like we mentioned. But that's the programming gym for your mind, for a career that help you to grow. It helped me a lot, I could say, about Hacker Hank helped me a lot. I don't know if you guys have used that, but that was very beneficial on the early years of my career. And they also have certifications these days that I didn't know, but they do have.
There is another
I
one.
just yeah.
I think it's
Before moving,
coding
just to
game.
sorry.
Coding game. It's another one that I used.
Oh,
Yeah,
I heard
Okay.
about that, Luis, but I didn't use that. Do you like that
yeah,
coding game?
it's
I
great.
have even
Mhm.
saved here in the favorites.
Go ahead, Hugo.
No, I was just to mention that Andres just, hey Andres, good to have you here. And he just mentioned something that might be very true. It is there are some things that are not enjoyable for everyone, even after lots of practice. and because he does running every morning, and it's just to stay fit, but uh, uh, still doesn't enjoy, right? Yeah, I don't enjoy it. I have to do. Oh, and he said that he have using HackerRank to practice C++. I enjoy it, but it took too much time because I tend to obsess. Yeah.
Yeah, but the good thing I see, these things takes time at the beginning, but when you get the challenge like that in a real world project, you just say, "I've seen that before." You do feel that pleasure. That I did what I had to do, and now I know what I need to do.
Cool. And yeah, so Luis, you were to pick a quote here. What is the quote that you were
Yeah,
planning to?
because Igor and Pedro mentioned about working remotely.
Yes.
So I remember the session about international interviews that Bruno Souza was here with us,
Mm,
participating with us, and the quote is from Bruno Souza. He said, "To go global, your first programming language must be English." So that's another thing that we are doing here. We're doing this podcast in English, and we can practice. We can show our work, our thoughts, and we can have conversations. And people are here discussing this with us. They know what we are. Some tools and some languages that we are working with, the AI, uh, for example. So this is a good thing to do. You can talk about things in English, so you can go global
Exactly,
and maybe
Luis.
work
And we can,
remotely.
yeah, and we can have Chila here to
Yeah,
understand us and talk with us. We had Douglas from US as well in the past talking English. This is the magic about having English. English is kind of mandatory if you want to go global, if you just want to go out of your comfort zone.
Yes, this is the common language you can communicate with others, because otherwise it would be, yeah, how to translate it. Even if this is not your mother language, but this is something common and you have to use it. And all the literature you can find about whatever topic, it's mostly in English, and this more reason. And if it's translated into your own language, then it usually takes time, and it may be outdated more faster. So if you want to have the latest technologies, topics, news, you have to communicate in. You have to understand English and communicate, of course, with possible recruiters if you want to go global, to have your remote job, or maybe changing the country as well, like Pedro did. Yes.
Yes, yeah. You
yeah,
have to be open, right, to
Mhm.
learn new language. I do see many things, especially from Brazil. They want to go to Europe, but no, I want to go to Portugal because they also speak Portuguese. You're limiting your life and your career just to one of the smallest countries in Europe. When you have whole Europe to speak, I will share with you guys a challenge that I have for next year. I will go travel in France. And as much as you know, French hate to speak English. They don't want to speak. They may know how to speak, but they don't want. So I've started to prepare myself how to interact at least the first words in French. I've these now we have a fantastic tool that's AI powered and translator on your cell phone. So you can start with small questions in French, and then after maybe if they find out this guy is trying hard, so let me try to speak in English or in Spanish or in Portuguese, languages that I know, and then you can communicate. But if you stuck with no, I'm gonna places that speaks only my mother language, you're not gonna grow. Even people that I know that lives in the US, they live in United States for around 10 years and they don't know English. What? Because they are just in the Brazilian community. They work with Brazilians, they work for Brazilians, and their customers are Brazilians. But what are you doing in the US and you didn't learn English at all? You do need to, if you want to grow, if you're watching us, you're from IT, you're coding in English. Start putting your computer in English, your operating system. It starts to help to change your small. I got this idea from Mairo Vergara. I don't know if you guys know him. He's an English teacher in Brazil. He got this idea, start changing your local environment, changing the language of your cell phone, the language of your computer, start listening to things in English, watch movies in English, get in touch with the language. So you start to get familiarized with the language, and then it will sound a little more natural to learn. So that's the idea. You have to be open to learn another language that are not just programming languages. That's what I
Oh,
wanted to say.
I have another quote because you said programming language, and the other quote is, "It's not just about coding; it's about understanding and communicating with the world."
It
That's it.
was from Pedro.
Yeah.
Uh,
This-
Maybe Pedro, if you watch it later, you might say, "I don't remember very well talking about that,"
Yeah.
but I do remember that you mentioned something very very similar, very close to that. It was about communicating because one thing that they are looking after, if it is, if you are able to communicate with the team about the issue that you are working on, the to estimate the date that you will deliver it, and also the requirement that it needs to, and understanding the requirement that you need to fulfill to have that done. So yeah, none of the no code would be worth if you don't understand what you need to do and what you're gonna be delivering and when you're gonna be delivered. So yeah, that's very important. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, go ahead.
Just to mention something above that, since communication is one of the main topics that I took to talk about it. And this is a real case that happened this year. Since we're talking about retrospectives, the customer wanted a feature that was almost impossible, and it depended to change on the banking core side, and I cannot give any more details. And but he wanted to change. He wanted that us on our side did magic. I just need to change it, and but it was impossible on our side. I did need to do a deep analysis on that and translate that into words to show to someone that is not technical that what they wanted was not possible without a change in the banking core. So it needed to have a change on the customer side, not on our side. I cannot produce data on my side. I grab the data from a source, especially when we are talking about banks, accounts. You cannot change that at all. That's sensitive data and that changes all the time. So, how do you explain that to a non to a non-technical person. You need to work on that, especially if it's not on your own language. So a suggestion would be write that in your own language at first, in a way that you understand, that you read that and see, "Oh, that's pretty clear for me," and then start translating that. Maybe some words will not make sense in that language. You need to fit that. If you're writing an email, if you're speaking, it's a little bit more harder. You need to have more practice on the language. But you can use, again, AI to give you a hand to have it translate as more natural as possible with ChatGPT. It will give you a more accurate translate if you compare with Google Translator. So, like you just mentioned, Liz, communication is key. It's something that I've spoken the whole year, and something that I will continue to talk about it on next year, but in a different format, because I've rethinking about my focus and I want to do that a little bit abroad. I will bring that when that's ready in a 2025 session of the Out of the Box Developer here.
Cool. Great, man. Good to hear that. Andres also shared here that hardest part of software development is gathering the requirements. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
true.
Yes.
We have to extract the requirements from the our customers, and as Igor said, so how do AI actually can do the work if the customer can actually bring the requirements, all the requirements correctly? So yeah, that's very
If
true.
if you have children, try to explain that to them. If they understand,
Yeah,
you're good to go.
cool. I just want to remember that we had a ranking of the most watched content from
Really?
this year, and the first one was how Java developers benefit even more from Kotlin. So yeah, and that was very interesting topic. We bring two people in two different sessions to talk about Kotlin. We bring Lucas Fujisawa and what was the
Marianne Varga.
Mariam, yeah, Brun, to talk about Kotlin, and it was really interesting. Also for me because yeah, I was curious about Kotlin for a long time, but I never could get in touch with the language. And then during the session, learned a lot of interesting things, and I really understand why people uh, uh, enjoy so much a language. It was very interesting how they developed so developer friendly and was interesting. And a quote here about Lucas. It was switching Kotlin feels like upgrading from a typewriter to a word processor. So yeah, there are a lot of syntax sugar that was really I felt really useful. And I don't know if you guys remember some interesting thing from that sessions.
Yeah, what I do believe that also happens, not just because of the advances that Kotlin brought in comparison to Java when you transition from one to another, is the tools that JetBrains brought to us integrated into IntelliJ. It makes the transition so smooth, and you can work also in a project mixing language. So it's very interesting to see these transitions of the language. That's why I believe that so many people and so many companies, and also of course developers, have adopt Kotlin as their main language. Of course, Android helped a lot, forcing them to move from Java to Kotlin. No, we are going to use Kotlin. That helped them to strengthen the language, but it's a good advanced, and also helped the on the other side to make Oracle move their ass to make something on the Java language, because the Java language was a dinosaur back then, and it has evolved so much because of these that it
From then to
has
this
been,
year, right?
yeah,
23.
a lot. It has evolved so much that this has been beneficial for the whole industry on my point of view.
Andrew is also mentioning here that he
Yeah.
started working with Kotlin recently and feels interesting. And that's cool, Andres.
Yes.
You have to share your experience with us more. And yeah, continuing here with the ranking, the other one it was about Java 22,
Yeah.
and I think the 22 was with Basler, right? If I'm not wrong.
I
Uh,
believe
oh,
that
Basler
one
is
was
it
with
was
Thiago.
23.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. But Basler mentioned about the GDK 23.
JDK
The
23. Yeah,
22 was with Thiago, I believe.
Tiago, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was
Yes.
with Tiago. He brings, yeah, I'm missing Tiago. I think there's
Mhm.
lots of sessions very interesting to talk about the content he bring here to us. It was Java 22. It was the Spring Modules, and about APIs. We
API.
made a lot with him, and look about Spring Model 22. It was the second most viewed content, and Spring Model it was the fourth most watched content of the year. So yeah, congrats, Thiago. You entered two times on the ranking with your content. Uh, and we also had here the third one was what every developer needs to solve complex problems. So we already mentioned it. It was a session with Professor Isidro. Was very
Mhm.
interesting about learning fundamentals, and he also made some live in code during the session. It was it was live SQL queries also creating the table. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It
I
was
would like
very,
to mention the
yeah, go
session that
ahead.
I've presented
Yeah.
when Spring AI came out. It was a very
Yeah,
long
that's
time,
cool. Uh-huh.
but it was very fun because that was very challenging for me as well. I did that slides to present what machine learning is, to bring a context, and then when we moved to look into Spring AI, we did a live code here. And I remember that I got a lot of trouble here. I didn't knew if this was going to work because I got the logs. The logs were saying that you didn't pay the bill. I didn't on the first call. I didn't have no credits on Open
On
AI,
the
and
OpenAI,
then
yeah.
during the session I put some money there and now that is gonna work, and we saw that work in real time. We did some code changes on real time. It was awesome because it was the I saw that working my own code for the first time live here with
Like,
you guys watching, the guys here in the session and you guys watching with us. So it was very nice, and how much power that can bring to your code as well.
yeah, that's true. And this happens happened also with me about, oh, you're using, and oh, during the live or during the presentation, oh, it's not working. When you see it was the credit.
Yeah.
Okay, I just gone. Oh my god.
It
And
was
just
fun.
desperate because it's live, right?
Yeah, just a moment. Let me put some credits here. Oh, not that's gonna work, or maybe.
So yes, so we I think there's more. There's any less about just we are just running on time, but that's any last quote that you would like to bring here?
Yeah, that's one from Pedro.
Well,
I don't know from what session, but I just read that. It says consistency is the foundation of any habit. Without it, even the best plans fall apart. And that's for everything in life, guys. If you want to achieve something, even in your career, you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to learn a new language, you want to move countries, you need to work on that on a consistent basis. Otherwise, it will not happen ever. It's like this gene that I've mentioned, you guys. You need to be consistent. Otherwise, you'll not get strength on any particular area of your life. That's my final quote for today's session.
cool. Yeah, that's true. We're gonna be transcripting this session as well in the future, right? That's great. And it's a great actually quote because the all of these, right? We are here. I think we made it this out of the box session very consistently. We try to keep the bi-week sessions, and there was a few weeks that we couldn't actually run the session, but it was for all we did during all the year. I hope you that is watching us enjoyed the session, and I want to say a huge thanks for being all this journey with us on 2024. We are always learning, trying to be better every session. And yeah, I hope to be 2025 a very more engaging, interesting topics to discuss about here. And please give us some feedbacks, give us some idea of what content you would like to see on 2025. Because yeah, this is the last session 2024. We're gonna be enjoying the Christmas and New Year's Eve, and then we're gonna be back on January. Um, I don't remember the dates exactly. It was, let me see here. It was the third week of January. Third week, January Tuesday 14. Yeah,
14.
January 14.
14.
No, it was
Jan-
21. 21. Uh, I think it is. Yeah, we can start on 14. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
14.
so 14. Cool.
14 is over.
Yes.
So, okay, I think that's it. How about you? You all. Yeah.
So let's go. I hope you guys had an amazing year with a lot of growth and keep the consistency, like I've just mentioned, and growing and sharing your thoughts with us. We are all learning together, knowing being a programmer, being a software engineer, it's a never ending learning path. We're all learning about all everything about how to work with technology, but not only on that, on how to deal with your own life, with your time, to have this work life balance, to manage your finances better, and that's a whole ecosystem. We talk more focus here, of course, is talk more about technology to empower your career, but that's a open discussion between us here in the session and you that is watching us. So thank you very much for being with us the whole year, watching us, and thank you very much for having me here on the Out of the Box, Hugo. It was amazing, and I'm looking to have amazing sessions on 2005 as well. And also thank you, Sila, thank you, Luis, for being together with us here in this session. And also thanks for Pedro that already left, but we watch later.
Yeah, for me the same. Thanks for having me here. It's been amazing. and I'm looking forward to 2025 because we have a lot of innovations coming here, um, like Java 2024 and 25. I think I don't know why, but I have the impression that Java 2025 uh, will have some innovations. I don't know why, but maybe because the language will turn 30, right?
30 years.
And yeah, and Java 25 will be the next LTS version. So I don't know. I think Java 25 will have some innovation. So I'm
Community
looking
will do
forward
a lot of
for
effort.
the session.
Cool. That's good
Yep.
news.
We have to talk about when the time comes. Yeah, thanks everyone.
Thank you, everyone, our audience who are accompanying us each time for the sessions, and thank you all for having me here. Hugo, Luis, Igor, and Thiago, Pedro, all the others who are not here today, and looking forward to new topics and interesting subjects next year.
Great, great. Okay, so Happy New Year for everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year for everyone. So we're gonna see you on 2025. See you. Bye bye.
Merry
See you next
Christmas. Happy
year.
New Year. See
Bye.
you.